I'm Halo Sama, and I'm here in Artist Alley with Don Rosenkrantz from
Oklahoma City. Thank you very much.
from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, exactly.
This is Welcome to Ralton. You write and draw this, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you do everything yourself?
Yep, I start out, I write it out, do the thumbnails, and basically it's just a story about a normal guy who has powers, doesn't want to do a darn thing with them except live his life, work his crappy job, and raise his kids. But he is met by a local devil man who's a local legend from around the city, and he just kind of comes out of the woodwork, and the two kind of hit it off and become best friends from there.
So you've been doing this for about how long now?
About 3 years now. Started in 2011, and already I've got 4 issues out, working on a web series as well with Literati Press, and I'm here today with Dust Comics, who's a horror publisher from here in the Dallas area. And that is ran by Dave Daub, who is also the gaming director here, and fantastic man. Just love the guy to death, and he's great to have us here.
Well, that's awesome. I love anybody that can write and draw and create their own stuff. So it's really cool that you have your own comic.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. And how long have you been doing this whole Artist Alley thing?
This would honestly be my 2nd year doing this. I mean, really, it was insane at first. You know, I didn't know how to take it all in. I'd never even been to a convention before. And then when I come here to actually kind of meet people and see other people that are just as into the same kind of things that I am, it's intense, you know.
It's a family.
Exactly. You know, you see the same people year in, year out that come back to the table, see your stuff, love what you're doing. I mean, you feed off of it, and they feed off you. It's all great, man.
That's really awesome. And one last thing before we go.
Okay.
I just wanted to get, like, from every artist in Artist Alley, but for you in particular, what are your pet peeves in Artist Alley? Like, if someone comes up to you, to your Artist Alley table, what are the do's and don'ts? Let's go with the first 3 that come to your mind. Ready, go.
Always love myself and tell me how awesome you think it is. I love that for sure. I mean, anybody would. Things I really hate, not too much. I mean, there's one time a guy came up and actually grabbed a pencil from me and said, "This is how I like to do that," and was working on a sketch that I was doing for somebody else. Just hands off, that's all.
Awkward. Awkward. What about people setting drinks on the table?
Hey, coffee stains are coffee stains. I'm making them myself right now, so actually that would blend right in. So.
So you don't mind if people spill water on your art?
Very much so, actually.
Okay.
I take that back. So that.
Okay, well, it was really great interviewing you. Thanks. We'll post all the links online.
Alrighty.
Hello, I'm here with Brian Delaney from Silver Sparrow Comics. That's this little baby right here. And just tell the folks a little bit, you know, like you do your own comics. That's what's going on?
Yeah, I self-publish my own comics on my website, Silver Sparrow Comics. I have 3 ongoing web comics. One's called The Silver Sparrow, one's called Women, and one's called Blood Machines.
Blood Machines? That sounds pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's about a teenage boy who wakes up in New York City, doesn't know who he is or where he's from, and something's been done to him, but he doesn't know why or what it does. He doesn't know how to control these powers, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, waking up with superpowers.
Waking up with superpowers, but they're maybe not so super. So.
Oh, so that could be like a twist there.
Yeah.
So you've been, you write and draw, you do from concept to finish.
From concept to finish, I write and illustrate all the stories, and some of them are updated weekly, and some of them are monthly comics.
That's pretty sweet. So you used to like publishing compilations and such.
Yes.
Well, how long have you been doing Artist Alley and why?
I've been doing Artist Alleys since 2006, and it's a great way to meet people and promote my characters and my concepts. So.
No, I totally agree. And for the last part here, what I'm just asking people is, like, what are your pet peeves in Artist Alley? Like, if someone comes up to your table, what would you consider to be a do and a don't?
When they ask you, I don't know, when they ask you to, I don't know, it's been weird. There are different ones. I don't want to offend anybody. Man.
Well, like when people say can't even draw a stick figure, how often do you hear that?
I don't hear anything like that.
Come on.
I don't. It doesn't mean
I can't draw a stick figure.
Yeah. When they
like
say
you're
that,
such a good artist.
Yeah, they say that. That's kind of a bit of a pet peeve.
Every artist hears that.
I've had probably some of the biggest pet peeves are like when you're talking to a fan or somebody that's really interested in what you're doing, and somebody comes up and interrupts and says, "Hey, what booth is this, or what island is this?" It's like, all right, well, it's kind of.
Am I the information booth or am I in Artist Alley?
Yeah, that'd be my pet peeve.
So it's your biggest pet
That'd
peeve?
be my biggest pet peeve.
That and leaving water and drinks on your...
Yeah, we found something at the front here the other day. It's like a wrapper or something. It wasn't gross, but yeah, it was.
It's not as bad. One year at A-Kon, we actually discovered we went to the bathroom and we discovered a passed out David Tennant in front of our table with puke all over the floor, just sleeping. I had to turn him over so he wouldn't sleep in the puke.
Wow.
So I guess it's not that bad.
No, that's pretty bad.
Well, thank you for doing this interview. It's really cool, again, to talk to somebody like from start to finish makes their own thing. So
absolutely.
Thank
She's
you.
Great.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You're great.
Yeah, you're great.
Whatever.
Whatever. I said it first.
All right, I am back in Artist Alley with Jerry the Bennett, who is awesome from OK, Oklahoma City. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
No, really? You're doing fantastic? This is the happiest guy in the world.
I would try to argue that, but I'm smiling too much. Sorry.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But this guy is pretty awesome. He's been drawing comics and comic styles for years, doing some artwork here. And how long have you been doing Artist Alley? I mean, and like, why do you do Artist Alley?
Well, for one, it helps pay the bills, but more than that, I just get such extreme joy from it. I mean, it's the dream job for me. I enjoy drawing. I love drawing. You understand that as well as I do, and it produces such a great feeling. And to be in Artist Alley, you get to see the expressions on people's faces seeing my art. So can't beat that.
Yeah, it's like instant gratification for artists because we spend hours and hours behind like the scenes doing stuff, and we never get to see their faces except.
It's the loneliest job in the world. It can be. I mean, because you're at home just drawing all the time, and you don't see anybody. You're not around anybody. But this is the time where you shine and see the love that people have for your art.
I totally get that. Well, what are you promoting at this particular show? It looks like you're doing art for, what's this comic here?
This is a science fiction comic called Nader Zenith. It's a little Blade Runner Firefly-ish type of story. And a local author, Jackson Compton, I say local, Oklahoma City author Jackson Compton, and myself have been working on this for a while, and it's been a labor of love. We're really enjoying the outcome, and it's been getting a lot of great reception for indie comic talent, so loving it.
Yeah, what I like about it is that not only is it got that like indie style, but I think you've got like you're channeling a tiny bit of like the 1980s, 70s anime style, maybe a little bit.
That's probably true. I don't even realize I'm doing it. But
yeah, I don't think you do, but I see it, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I was so into RoboCop and not RoboCop, but Robotech.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because especially some of these covers, the facial expressions are a little Robotech-y in a great, awesome way.
Thank you.
And I guess I'll round up the segment with. Basically, I've been asking everybody, what are your pet peeves in Artist Alley? Or like if someone comes up to you at your table at Artist Alley, what is a good do or don't?
Wow.
I know you got some.
Well,
we've had conversations.
Well, without going into great detail, I feel like that as far as do's, I mean, just being, I feel like there's a level of respect. It seems like common sense sometimes, but I don't think everyone gets that. People know that we have pride for our art, and if they are saying something derogatory and negative about it, just vocalizing it, I don't think they realize that it can hurt the feelings of the artist. So I'd say just as long as they're respectful, they may not like the art, and that's okay. It's not, every style is not for everybody. So as long as they just keep that to themselves, I think there should be no problems.
No, I totally agree. And there are some people out there that would say, well, you know, suck it up or whatever. But it's like, why do we have to live in a society where I have to suck it up? Why don't we live in a society where you just don't say those things? You don't have to be mean.
To me, I've always told people, especially with the internet, there is a style for every audience, and every artist out there can get their own audience who loves their own art. So, I mean, there should be no reason for that kind of negativity.
I completely agree. And let me just end off by saying this guy is so prepared for conventions. He brings his own hot sauce. I just found this down there. I don't know if you're making burritos or what's going on, but that's highly prepared, sir.
I'm sorry, but I love hot sauce and I love Tabasco so much that it goes everywhere I go. I make no apologies.
To be fair, I carry chopsticks with me everywhere just in case, so no big deal.
See, there you go.
Well, thanks for talking to us. Had a great time. I'm so glad that you're here, and I love your art, so thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Hi there, I'm here with Mr. Crazy Crow, the creator of, or not, creator of Spinneret.
One of that.
How are you doing today?
Very good, very good.
Now, I was wondering, and I've always been wondering this, what gave you the idea for Spinneret?
Well, Spinneret was actually the product of a 14-hour road trip to Florida from Ohio for a wedding.
Really?
I was sleep-deprived in the back of the car thinking it seems unfair that superheroes can just put on glasses like Clark Kent and have a secret identity. What if someone had a more obvious superpower, such as 6 arms, required a fat suit to disguise it? And it all snowballed from that one idea of fat suit.
From fat suit?
Yeah.
That's glorious. Now, something that was really interesting with the comic, and it's actually what made me want to read it, is it's kind of an anime manga style artwork, but it reads very much like a Western comic.
It was kind of the East meets West. In a lot of ways, I'm really an outsider to superhero comics. I'm a manga anime fan first, and my wife introduced me to Teen Titans when I was in the hospital getting my tonsils out, and from that brief smattering of superhero comics, that inspired me to bring the two together and create my own.
All right, that's awesome. Like, that's just awesome. How did you find an artist for it?
I posted a want ad online. It was actually pretty easy for me. It's a website called digitalwebbing.com. A lot of artists finding writers, writing finding artists and colorists, and vice versa. And it's worked out well for me.
Now, did you expect the outrageous success that it's had so far?
I don't know if I call it outrageous, but I was not expecting that at all. I actually planned it as a one-shot originally, just one issue, then it'd be done and move on to my next project. I was actually writing a Western comic before I did Spinneret, but it kind of took off and I've just run with it. It's been good 4 years now.
Right now, it's getting pretty heavy, like it's getting pretty drama-filled in there. What can we expect to come?
I always think of it as a comedy at its core. I know it's a very dramatic arc right now, but I do want to bring back the laughs and keep that as an important element in the story.
All right, awesome. I'm excited for what's to come, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to interview with us.
Thank you a lot.
Okay. Hi, I'm here with Diana Sprinkle, one of my favorite artists of all time, because as you can see, she has a really fun, actual quirky style. Hilarious. How are you doing today, Diana?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good, especially since I get to be surrounded by all this adorable and hilarious art, which is full of puns and visual humor and jokes. Like every single thing that you have drawn, it tells a story, even if it's just like a short little story. Each one has like a story to tell, and I really respect that.
Yeah.
And I guess the question I want to ask you is like, how long you've been doing conventions, and like why?
Well, I started when I was about, I don't know, like, my mom always used to take me to cons when I was like super, super small. So I can't remember when my first convention was. Like I was probably around like 5 or something. I just remember.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just remember the people being really worried that I would get them in trouble because they had questionable material. And there's like this 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid like running around their booths, like asking them questions about how to draw and what they did when they made their stuff. So I started selling art though when I was like roughly in high school.
Wow, that long. That's so crazy.
I did the art shows first, so I don't think I had booths until like high school, but I did art shows as like a little kid. And I do that thing they tell you not to do where I pull the stuff out of my sketchbook and I would have all the sketchbook stuff and I would hang it up like, here's my drawing.
That was my first art show.
Did you also do the thing where you would copy a panel from like a comp? Yeah.
Yeah, where you copy a panel from a comic and make it really big and you're like, wait, that's not art, oops.
Right, but you're like, 9 or 11 or something like that and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's called practice, we all know that now. But since then, now you do all kinds of like illustrations and designs for like, for one, for t-shirts, like shirt.woot.
Shirt.woot.com, yeah. I like they do a contest every week where they give a theme out, and I like having a deadline, otherwise I'm super lazy.
Me too. I still never once won any of those. I actually gave up a while ago because I was like, I'm never going to win because you know what? You have these two people. Because we got Diana here and then there's this girl over here named Shonuff Bass, and they're both really hilarious and amazing artists. So
But it's surprising, like, the art isn't necessarily the most important thing for t-shirt design. Like, I've seen a lot of people win with just a really, really good concept done okay. And it's like, in fact, I have a hard time with the t-shirt stuff because my stuff tends to be a little too weird.
yeah, but I'm not gonna
sell it on my own, so it's not too bad. But
I'm not gonna lie, it's weird, but in a really awesome way.
Right, but it's hard to get votes when you're like there's always somehow I work in one element where people are like, why did you do this? And I'm like, I thought it would be good. Like, sometimes I just think it makes sense. Like, I'm like, no, it totally makes sense. And they're like, no, it totally does not make sense. I don't know what you did.
Cats barfing little rainbow kittens makes sense. At least it does to me.
Yeah.
But I guess I want to round off the segment basically by just asking you, like, what is your like main pet peeve? Like, if somebody's going to come up to you, like an artist alley, come to your table, what's like maybe some do's and don'ts?
Well, I would say that be very careful where you lay your stuff. Like, a lot of people, like, my table's fairly flat, so pretty much wherever you put your stuff is going to be fine. But some people have stuff on their table that isn't well, that will just come up when you pick it up, or that can be tipped over. So if you're coming up to somebody's table, like, really figure out where you can put your stuff, or maybe put it on the floor. And I know most people don't like doing it, so. Also, know when to escape. You know, like, if the person's trying to do business, you can come back and talk to them at a different time, you know, like.
Don't be a table barnacle.
Well, and a lot of people like having someone to talk to. It's not like we want you to go away, but there's some circumstances where it's good to know, like, to measure the room essentially and be like, okay, this person's really busy now. I'll just be like, okay, I'll talk to you in a little bit, you know, or I'll be right back, or you look busy, you know. I mean,
yeah, and we're never trying to be rude ever. We do love talking to you. It's just that this is also a business for us, and so it's like if we don't make our table back because we're so busy talking to you, then we're gonna punch ourselves in the face in the morning, basically.
Also, another thing you can do if it's like really dead and you think you might be getting on the person's like nerves, or even if you're worried you can always ask them, like, hey, you know, I'd love to talk to you more, but do you need anything? Can I go get you something? You know, and that way, like, if they are being bothered by you, at least, like, you're offering to, like,
you know, service.
Or at least you're like, you know, hey, I'll go do this thing so you can have some time with me not at your booth. You know, and it endears you to them slightly because at least you're trying to help out, you know. Because I know some people, they're not really that social, so they don't understand when they're hitting a point where they maybe should, like, let go.
Right.
Yeah.
It happens. Well, I guess I just want to end by saying thank you very much. I really love your artwork, and the thing I love the most about it is that it always makes me smile.
Thank you.
All right, we are here with Miss Shonuff Bass from Bass Animation.
Hello.
Yay! She also has a fun, like, unique and quirky style where she seems to focus more on, like, the idea and the humor rather than just, like, drawing a fan art real quick, which is nothing wrong with that. Love fan art, but these two girls draw a lot of original stuff, which is totally cool. So, Shauna, please tell us, why do you do this? Like, how long have you been doing conventions and why?
I started back in like 1995, so I've been doing this a long time. That was my first convention, and I had a table, and it was just me and my grandma, and no people would come by. There was like 4 tables, and so it was just a way to sort of get my artwork out to people who liked it, who was into the same stuff I was. There weren't very many people who were at the time. I continue to do it because it still reminds me to be young, and I still love to draw silly things, and I still love cartoons at the old age of 35, so it just continues to be fun, so I keep doing it.
And we really appreciate you bringing your unique art out here all the time. I mean, I don't get to see you as much anymore, which is sad, but that's just because she's working a lot. Because you do like video game design. She's done like characters for that. She designs T-shirts sometimes, and posters and illustrations and little cartoons. And I just love that. Like some of the games, like what have you done? I couldn't remember.
I did a project with Nickelodeon for their Monkey Quest IP, right. So I worked on an iPhone game for that and an iOS game for that. So that was a really interesting experience, getting to work with a really huge studio, big-time conceptors and all that stuff. So that was a lot of fun. I'm a lead illustrator where I work currently, so I mean it's a 9-to-5, and I get to do this. I don't get to do this stuff as much as I want to anymore, but it's a nice balance, and I get to learn stuff on the job too. So
That's really awesome. I have to pick your brain with the animation sometime, because I do. That is one thing that's very apparent with your style, is that it's animation. Like, I did look up some of those, like the Monkey Island thing. Adorable.
Yeah, it's cute stuff.
Super adorable. And I guess one of the other things I like to round out the segment with is just what are your pet peeves, like at like any of the Artist Alley shows or any of the conventions? Like, what is your main pet peeve? Like, if somebody's going to walk up to your table, and what are the do's and don'ts of dealing with an Artist Alley table, or an artist in particular?
Kind of, I guess, you know, be mindful that the artists like to talk, but they're also there to sell, and they want to get as many people to come by and look at their stuff as possible. Try not to linger for like a long period of time talking about things that are like very far related from what you actually know, because you need people to come through your table. So if someone's going to hang out a long time, that's kind of troublesome. Also, try not to put your stuff, like a lot of people walking around with large stuffed animals, you know, all their cosplay wings and their weapons and swords, and 8 badges, you know, when they're bending over to look and all their stuff kind of falls out onto the table. Please don't do that, because water and, you know, lamine and all kinds of stuff will get all over their work. So try to be mindful. Lamine, always bottle lamine all over your prints.
I love that you mentioned the lamine. I'm like, it's every time. They always just like, oh, this sweaty bottle's okay.
Yeah, and Pocky and everything else, which I love, but please keep away from artists' work. So those are the main ones. Don't linger. Don't put your drinks on art tables.
And what's a good do?
Buy stuff. No, really just, even if you don't want to buy anything, just tell people this is nice work, thank you for letting me look at it, and keep things up, and just general encouragement is always nice.
We need encouragement a lot as artists, because we're pathetic and need a lot of encouragement.
Yes, we're very sad. We need it. We love us.
Very sad people. On the inside, we're crying.
Yes,
well, it was
always.
really great interviewing you. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. I know you're busy, so I'll let you get back to your thing and selling stuff. So thanks a lot.
Yay, thank you. Bye.